Jacob, quit laughing. Now you're making it hard for me to welcome everyone. Toast to the Talking Shop podcast. I am your co-host Josh with Grand Slam Cards, along with Michael at Medium Rare Cards, and It's Cobb is behind the scenes helping us out. Fruits and Veggies is present in the group chat. Michael, how are you doing?
I'm well. I'm going through a little bit of card show withdrawal. It's been a while, and I think it's going to be a while before I get to do another card show. So I am relegated to selling cards on the eBay. But it's good to be home. You know, when I'm home on the weekends, I get to whittle down the honeydew list a little bit. That gets piled up when I'm at a show, so it's good to be around and taking care of that. I just proved to myself how unhandy I am.
You've made that clear.
Like extremely unhandy. Like, are you handy around the house, Josh? Like what is stretches your limits as a handyman around the house?
And it's not because I can't, but I won't paint. I refuse to paint. But I'll do kind of everything else. I've had to YouTube a lot of things, and if I can't do it, in fact, our upstairs bath/shower, the bath will not get hot water, but as soon as you pull out the thing and send the water up to the shower, you can get a hot shower. So I called in 2 different plumbers. One, I was not happy with their quote because I disagreed with the cause of it. And then we called in another one, and I was like, all right, this one makes a little more sense. He kind of fixed it. It worked for just a little bit. So I have no idea. But I say all that to say I took apart all the faucet stuff to see if there was something that needed to be replaced, a little valve that wasn't catching or something. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to end up dropping something back in this. I put it back together, and we called the plumber, but it's still not fixed to this day. So you can't take a hot bath at my house, but you can take a hot shower.
Yeah. So I fixed the landing. Like, you go down the steps and then there's a landing. I replaced that, and the carpet and the baseboard and the dry. It looks like complete.
It looks like one of the fun houses where the floor is crooked and you walk across the
floor.
Oh
yeah, like we yell at our kids not to jump from the 8th step up onto the landing all the time. Now there's like an accidental trap door for them to just go straight through. So that's an ER trip waiting to happen.
Well, my weekend is like this little section of late April, early May is like Murderer's Row for holidays for me, because my wife has a birthday on April 24th. Which is then followed by our anniversary on May 13th, which was Saturday. And then
pictures.
Mother's Day is always right somewhere in there. So I get hit with birthday, anniversary, Mother's Day, and it usually doesn't end well somehow. So we made it through. We did Mother's Day on Sunday and our anniversary on Saturday, and a kid's birthday party. So I was nonstop going this whole weekend. But first world problems.
Yes, absolutely. Well, before I do the rundown, I do want to talk about a couple things. Holy Jason Tatum, my goodness. I think this may be, when we look back at his career, this, if they sort of seal the deal moving forward, they still have to win 2 more series. But if that happens, everybody's going to look back at this Game 7 on Sunday and say this is where he learned how to close.
Yeah, my question is why can't guys play like that all the time? Like, if they're that good, they should be able to play not 50 points maybe, but if you can put up 50 points when you get in a groove, why can't you put up 30 to 40 every other game? Is, I guess, my thoughts. Easier said than done, but
yeah, I think at that level in the playoffs, I mean, not to say that people aren't given their all the time, but in an 82 game season, then it's human nature, right? To sort of take your foot off the gas a little bit. But I think winning's hard. So I mean, and you got to learn how to. If Michael Jordan had to learn how to win at that level, then everybody has to learn to win at that level. And then on the other
Yeah.
side of the coin, in the Western Conference, we were talking. I don't know if it was pregame or if I was talking to Jacob offline, but um, it's hard to believe that LeBron is 38 years old doing this. I
I
mean,
hate to say it, I don't
it's
like
tough.
him, but it's impressive.
It is. It is. I mean, dare I say, it's Brady esque.
Well, I will give you a little teaser. My card from the vault / card from the shop, card from the display case is a LeBron card, and it's not the color blast that a customer pulled. This is one in our showcase. But yeah, Mackie says Jordan never took his foot off the gas, played 82 games, 9 years. Braun only one time. And again, Jordan just consistently in big series just dominated. You
Yeah,
didn't
I
have
don't
this
think
Tatum where Tatum will disappear and score 11 points and go 2 for 14 from the field. It's just
the thing. I'm not saying that LeBron greatness wise is better than Jordan. I'm just saying that at this age,
yeah, I agree.
he's literally playing with kids that are, you know, 12, 13, 14 years younger than him. And it's nuts, right? And maybe it's just because I'm old. I'm old as dirt, right? I'll be 50 next year. And so for me to think that I could ever roll with anybody 15 years younger than me in any sport other than, I don't know, Prism Monopoly, like a board game, is
Well,
is crazy to me.
I'll tell you how LeBron does it. He doesn't play defense. That's how he does it.
Oh.
It's easy when you only do
Oh,
half of the game, but
dang.
we should probably look at some of these questions and say what's up because Ed has said hi from Facebook and YouTube. Ed, we love you. Thanks for tuning in. Fruits and veggies, Jeff, good to see you. Long time no see. You were in the shop today. Mackie, George, 7 cards. I do think Luka's better than Tatum, but it's close. And I mean, Luka puts up 50 more often than he doesn't. What? Not,
You
what I
want to
mean.
talk about a guy that doesn't play defense? Come on.
I never said
Luka
he did.
Luka doesn't play defense.
I never said he did.
At least Tatum plays defense.
Yeah, like every couple games. All I
Right.
remember was there was what wasn't a couple games ago. Tatum was like non-existent, couldn't make a
Oh,
shot.
yeah, it just disappeared.
Yeah, so I just want to see someone constantly be the boss. So Bentley Gardens, which is Ed, says Luka is far better, not even close to Tatum. Consistency is what counts. That's my point there. Consistency. I don't know if I would say far better, but in my opinion, better. But 7 cards. That's why we love this country. We can all agree to disagree. Because there's people out there that don't think Brady's the greatest quarterback to ever live. Carson tunes in and says the problem with Luka is he can't coexist with another star. He acquires the ball every possession to be effective. Luka, I disagree there too. With the other star is Kyrie, that's probably the issue more than being another star. But Luka would dominate with some really good role players and just not another big star. We were talking about that in the store. But that does kind of back up what Carson says. I don't think that Luka can't coexist with another star. I just think he is more effective when he is the dominant one and he's surrounded by role players, good ones that'll get him further than he's gotten. So
that's everybody though. Jordan didn't win without Pippen. I mean, everybody. This is a tough game. There's very
correct.
little. I mean, you cannot do this stuff on your own. And well, before we move on, and thank you for the banter, guys. Yes, we are going to hopefully agree to disagree, and that's good can't agree on everything. I personally think that Tatum is a better player than Luka. I think Luka gets a pass for being a little bit out of shape, but come on now. Come on. I think he gets a total pass for that just because on the other side of the ball when he's scoring, it's fun to watch.
Here, is that better there, everyone? Now that I've just muted Michael with all that nonsense. So this is cool. I control the mute button. All right. Nice try.
All right. The second thing I wanted to bring up before I do the rundown, Josh, did you see we talked about the whole trimming thing last week?
Yes, but I haven't seen anything.
So there's, and this sort of ties into the topic of the day about Independence Day parallels and other parallels. And so there's an Independence Day parallel of Shohei. I think it's 2018. And it was graded BGS 9. Serial numbered is 12 out of 76.
Easy to identify. Okay.
Easy to identify. Well, it just recently showed up in a PSA 10 slab.
And it was a Beckett what?
It was a Beckett 9. Had an 8.5 corner.
Corners can be worked, huh?
And now, magically, the 12 of 76. A PSA 10. Shenanigans, shall we say?
Again, if you can turn a damaged corner into a corner that's no longer damaged, then it's no longer damaged. So I'm on the side of that. So
I'm gonna pump Neo Cards and Comics did a fantastic video about this. Shows the cards side by side, shows where maybe part of the cards probably not there anymore. So go watch that. I just thought it was interesting that we talked about trimming last week. And now a very, very high end. Like the BGS 9 sold for like $3,000. The PSA 10 closed on eBay for like 10 grand.
Wow. So like I said, that Zion, the $100,000 Zion that came from ours, had a corner that had to be worked, and it got a PSA 10. So Carson makes an interesting comment here. Victor Wembanyama's signed his first Bowman card, and he inscribed it "first card ever signed." How much do we think that will be worth is his question. A lot.
All right, let me do the rundown for you guys who are here for the first time, and for you guys who have been around. You guys will know what's happening. We are going, that was the opening rip. We're going to jump straight into new in the shop. We're going to jump behind the counter, talk a little parallel battle. Then we're going to address some and answer to the best of our abilities listener questions. Card from the vault hits a monstrous hits from the shop this week.
A lot of hits.
And then crazy stat of the week. First, Josh, what is coming to the shelves at Grand Slam this week?
So a light week. What's today? The 15th. So the big one's Crown Royal basketball. That comes out Wednesday. We got a nice little bit of it coming. That's the Kaboom chase. So if our break group liked basketball a little more, we'd probably break a bunch of that because I got a good bit of it coming. But we may still break some of it. It's a sweet product. Flawless basketball is this week.
Nice little cheap product.
Yeah. And then Bowman University Inception is this week. I put in for this order. I haven't heard allocation wise. So I would like to think that's one we are going to have probably, but I can't speak to it yet because I don't have a number yet. And then there's a Yu-Gi-Oh product on Friday that most people that watch this probably don't care about, but we care about it. So, but Crown Royal is the big one this week.
And we talked about this in the pregame. So apparently the LeBron Kaboom coming out of Crown Royal, the image, you'll see it. It's online. Go find it.
Jacob
The
can find.
the image is of when he broke the scoring record. So I like the fact that they picked that image, that it's got some historical relevance, and the gold kaboom of that is going to be bananas. Price
The
point.
reg
What a
the
chase.
regular kaboom would be same pose, right? Yeah, it's
Yep.
the same
Same
pose,
pose.
not numbered. That'd be pretty big too.
Yep. All right, let's jump behind the counter here. And um, the thumbnail for the video was the greatest parallel in sports cards. And we're sort of wrestling around with this in the pregame, and we were like, well, maybe we should maybe open it up to like the greatest parallel, and then sort of work in case hits, because in the pregame chatter earlier today, Jacob was like, well, that's easy. It's a 101. That's the greatest parallel, right? And then I was like, nah.
That's what Ed said in the chat just now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
how about
101.
yeah? I mean, because that would be the black parallel or whatever that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a very, very weak market for printing plates, and those are all 101s, right?
Yeah, I would
So
say let's take finances out of it. Just your personal favorite, right? That's kind of more what you were talking about. Which one
that's
do
my
you?
personal favorite, and I do have some caveats to this. So like the greatest parallel in sports history, I said it has to be a beautiful card. It's got to be good looking, right? It's got to have some eye appeal. It has to be attainable. That's why I think like the 101s, that's like a unicorn. It's a lightning strike. It's like a hole in one. So the 101s, and then it has to carry some hobby value. I know that you want to separate like monetary stuff from this, but their value comes in different forms, right? There's value to the collector, there's value money wise. So Josh, you've mentioned one of yours, but go ahead and tell the audience like which is like your favorite parallel. What rises to the top there for you?
Yeah, so my favorite is probably tie dyes. Those have always been my favorite. But right behind are zebras. And the other one I really like is the checkerboards. I'm a sucker
Interesting.
for those checkerboard parallels. So we'll get to inserts like downtowns and kabooms in a minute. Let's talk about some of the ones that look really cool there. But as far as like if you want to know what we're talking about parallel wise, think of like a rainbow that people put together. They'll take the one card and they'll get the whole rainbow of that card. And you've got cracked ices and shimmers and shocks and discos and zebras and checkerboards and tie dyes and other animal prints. I think it's really cool. The year LaMelo's rookie card year, they did the elephant print. So everyone was chasing the LaMelephant. That was really cool. When I saw some of those look really cool. But yeah, animal prints are awesome. For inserts, Jacob says zebra for parallel, color blast for inserts. But yeah, for me, parallel wise, something about I know it's the 101 or it's the number to 5, but the gold vinyls, just when you see that gold vinyl. And I don't know if it's just because it's so rare. Maybe it's increased the desirability in my head, but something about that gold vinyl looks really cool. So that'd be for me. Obviously, if you take the gold vinyls out of it, it's checkerboard, zebras, and tie dye. Probably my 3 favorite. Lid says he's a sucker for the good old purple refractor. Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm more of a baseball guy. Soccer is a close second. But Panini and Topps do soccer, so I've had to get educated on parallels on both sides. But so for me on the baseball side of things, it goes Independence Day is just one. On the football, basketball, soccer side, on the Panini side of things, it's the camo refractor or camo parallel for me. It's weird though, right? Because in some years, the camo refractor is like I've got a Russell Wilson rookie that's a Topps that camo refractor's out of $4.99. But I've seen camo refractors or camo prisms as low as 25, which
Yeah,
is traditionally the numbering for tie-dyes, right? Tie-dyes are always out of 25.
correct.
Okay. I know as a
I would have guessed
hobby,
camos were always 25 if you had to gun to my head. I was pretty concerned or pretty convinced those were always to 25.
I think on the Panini side, camos are always 25. But the camo refractors on the top side, yeah, sometimes they're not even numbered. So drop it in the chat what your favorite parallel is and
You
what
know,
product out of it.
you know what ones that I am just goo goo, and this is a little bit of this. It sounds like a segue into me pumping one of the breaks we have posted. Some of the parallels in this, I'm just Googling it now. Some of the Monopoly parallels are
Mhm.
unbelievably awesome. And there's some I'm looking at here that I forgot all about. Um, those are way up there for me. And that's probably why I posted another Monopoly break. I love opening this product, and these parallels are just awesome. The free
They're
party.
quirky, right? Yeah, they're great.
I mean, and I'm looking at the LeBron James purple money shimmer. Oh, and with like going with the Lakers colors,
Yeah.
and two of the little Monopoly Man borders. There's the go, do not pass go. There's the go. There's the chance borders. I mean, these are just awesome.
Well, I
So,
tell
oh, by
you,
the way, we're filling a Monopoly break that's got full
hey Jacob, why don't you throw one of those codes up for
Yeah,
us?
so we're going to throw up a break code. This will allow you to go to the break page, add this credit to your account, and then when you buy a spot in a break, you can use this break credit. The first one is 092C as in Charlie 45. 092C45. It's a $5 break credit. I think each one can be used by 4 different people. So don't think, oh, I'm not going to get there in time. Go grab it. Go over to Grand Slam Breaks Rock Hill. Add it to your account up at the top right-hand corner with the edit button. And then grab a spot because we got the baseball break, or excuse me, the football hobby break with 15 autographs. And then 8 of these Monopoly blasters, along with 2 of the games, which have 2 packs in each game, and you're guaranteed one of the cool black bordered parallels in there. It's only 6 spots for the Monopoly one. We're going to do divisions. And there it is. If you're watching on the screen, there's the football one, 3 limited boxes, a Pro Set Power, which has some of the guys that just got drafted. And then there's the Monopoly break. So Monopoly break has what? Ooh, 3 spots left.
Uh-oh. Get them while it's hot.
I'm buying one right now.
Get them while it's hot.
I can tell you who just bought it. Ed bought one. Good job, Ed. It's money, right?
Yes. So I know you like these parallels in Monopoly, but Topps Fanatics needs a little bit of credit here because I feel like people are drafting off of what was, it's almost forgotten because it's been like 8 months. But remember the Logo Fractor product that Topps came out with?
Let me refresh my memory.
So Topps Logo Fractor came out late summer, early fall last year. A gorgeous product, very, very limited release, but it had the MLB logo sort of hologrammed throughout the cards.
Yeah, looking at it now, looks pretty
And
sweet.
now look at the Monopoly stuff. Look at some of the other things coming. I think that revolutionized that sort of I don't know, that overlay for a parallel. Yeah,
but that logo goes over the entire card.
Yes.
The Monopoly one. Well, I suppose the zebra one's the same way. The Monopoly ones are just the borders, but
yeah.
So there it is. If you can see it on the screen, there's the Topps Logo Fractor. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yep.
I'm just dying. Did we say this last? I'm dying for a Monopoly football version so I can get some Brady Monopoly borders.
Well, we were talking about it, right? Like if, and this is completely off the rails for the greatest parallel in sports cards, but yeah, like someone needs to be working on like a a Trivial Pursuit game with players and cards. So
Although that logo's not as iconic as Monopoly. What would be another super iconic logo?
game wise,
I mean, game wise, yeah, I suppose. I mean,
McDonald's did it right with Pokemon.
Uno.
Yeah.
Oh, Ed had a Pete Alonso PSA 10 logo fractor.
Sweet. That would be a sweet.
Oh.
Even the base sets, a full base set of the logo fractor set would be. I think that's going to be highly sought after. But let me reel this back in. Greatest parallel.
George says Candyland. Oh,
let's roll this back. Greatest parallel. Your tie dye, Camo and Independence Day. The hobby as a whole, I think, has this love affair with the gold prism, the prism gold out of 10, which is it's barely attainable, but they're still out there. So let's sort of segue from that to like greatest insert, and then greatest insert plus greatest parallel. It's like, Voltron at that point. It's like unbeatable. So your favorite insert, and does it have a parallel? Mine does not.
Oof, man. It's really, really, really hard for me to beat the regular Donruss Downtown. I like it so much better than the optic one with the lasers. I like the non-optic one. A close second, stained glass. The prism silver stained glass. Mosaic stained glass is really high up there for me too. And kabooms. I mean, you'll hear color wheels and color blasts and stuff, which are cool, but they're not close for me to those three. Stained glass, regular Downtown.
Mine is my favorite insert does not have a parallel to it. It's called the blank slate insert. Look it up. It is minimalistic. It's just literally a blank slate. And it's like Diamond Kings, Court Kings, Gridiron Kings. I think the blank slates this year in football came out of the Origins product.
Is it? And it's while you're talking, I think I've got one behind me here.
Oh, look at this guy, always flexing. I think I have one, and I don't. Is it Brady? How do you spell his name again? I can't remember.
Is it Trout? No, these are. This is actually a drop off from one of my good customers / friends, and when I saw the picture right now of Googling it, oh, that's not one, is it? Let me show it to you. That's not one, is it?
That is not a. I think that might be a level 4 out of Court Kings, which is also very rare. But no, blank slate, and then a second for me, and they had it in the Prism World Cup set this year, and they had it in 2018. It's called national. It's called Landmarks. National Landmarks. There's the blank slate. Just awesome. Like I said, minimal, and like I love the Pujols one of this is great. It's got him in the Cardinals. It's fantastic.
I'm looking at a Steph Curry one. I'm looking at those look cool. They kind of look like artist drawings.
Yeah, I love it. And then if you could pull it up, and people probably won't know this unless they collect soccer, but National Landmarks, and like Messi and Ronaldo have gold versions of this, and they're astronomical, like 24K. So
I believe it.
Yes, and they come from the. Oh yeah, look at that.
Awesome. That's your downtown. That's
your downtown, but they're called National Landmarks because it's out of the Prism set. So this is only coming out every 4 years. So way more rare for these.
Yeah. So 7 card says, don't forget about Eclipse and color wheels. So yeah, color blasts and color wheels. The Eclipses are pretty sweet.
Oh, the Night Moves one that you showed, that was awesome. But I've never seen a color wheel in person. Kabooms.
I just thought of the one. I don't have it. It probably wouldn't be my all-time favorite. It's a unicorn card. I'm going to try to find at the National, but the manga insert from Prism.
Oh yeah,
the Infinity
with all the rings.
Yeah,
I think I love that one. People are not as high on that just because it's a playoff like the Net Marvels, right? It's sort of comic booky.
Oh, these are pretty sweet. I'm looking at pictures of them now. Jacob, you should throw up the mangas. Look at that. There's that one, but pull up his 2022 one. It's pretty sweet too. I'm looking at the Trevor Lawrence one. Looks awesome. So yeah, that's my, I just don't know if I feel comfortable spending that much on a Brady card when you go to the next. But it's either like I get to buy that or a bunch of other stuff, and who knows. But I want one of those really bad. There's the 2022 one. That looks pretty awesome. The Buccaneers with all the pirate treasure. Keith Rowe says, "What up? What up, Keith? Thanks for tuning in."
Thank you.
Andrew says State of the Art is one of his favorites. I'm not super familiar. I just been Googling these and then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about those. Oh, those are kind of yeah, those are sweet. That's out of Court Kings, kind of like a hand-drawn. Very cool. I will say this hobby does a great job with these inserts and parallels, and every now and again, like these manga ones on the screen. Look at that Trevor Lawrence one. That's pretty awesome.
He looks like a Disney character. He looks like the dude from Beauty and the Beast. He's got the whole the Prince Charming thing going on. I have a little.
Yeah, look at that Josh Allen one there up there in the top right. That's pretty sweet too. But the Infinity Gauntlet one, that's my unicorn card for the collection. We'll see what happens.
What do you think? What's that going for these days? Is that in the what is that going for?
Oh, look at the Mahomes one. Scroll up right there. Ooh, that would be a nice one if Brady didn't exist. No, over there at the left. Ah, right there. Look at that thing. That's so awesome. I wonder what that. Yeah, they're so hard to pull. They're like $2 or $3 grand if you get anyone decent. So yeah, maybe I can.
Imagine putting that set together, right? Now those don't have parallels, right? They're all silvers. They're all silver prisms, but there's no parallels in those.
Correct.
Well, we went off the rails there.
I think it's time for some questions. Mackie says 1 spot left in the Monopoly break. Let's go. No whammies. I'll break that one after the podcast if it's full.
Let's tackle some. Oh, is this a new one, Jacob? A new code?
Oh, code number 2, break code number 2, 0924C3. I got a notification that up in the group chat, 092C54 was typed in wrong for those looking at the chat. 092C54. No, that looks right. C54. But anyway, go redeem that second one. Ed says Cody Bradford's about to be introduced to Acuna. Is Cody Bradford a pitcher and Acuna's about to bat? That's off the rails. We get off
Good luck, kiddo. Good luck, kiddo. Acuna's back. He's back. So if you didn't get in on Acuna card before now.
Correction. I think the stream across the bottom, Jacob, you had put the wrong. You put C45 and it's C54. So the break code in the chat, if you look over in the comments, is correct. 7 cards. Josh, do you already own a Brady manga? I do not, and that's why it's kind of on my wish list at this year's National. I went to last year's National wanting to replace a Kaboom and a Downtown Brady that I had sold in the past and regretted it. And I came back with 2 Kabooms, 2 Downtowns,
and an
autograph numbered to 5. So I'm like,
right. Dangerous. Dangerous. All right, let's tackle a couple questions here. We're doing good on time. Maybe we get through all these. So Jacob, why don't you throw that first one up? When it comes to collecting and investing in trading cards, how do you determine which ones are worth the investment, and what are some effective strategies for collecting and investing? So number one,
Quarterback.
technically we're not allowed to use the word investing. So just a disclaimer out there. This is not investment advice. This is for your entertainment only. Past performance does not blah, blah, blah. Future performance. Okay.
I've lost a lot of money in cards, so don't take our advice.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Josh, you go first. How do you determine it?
I hate to say it. If it's football, it's quarterback and it's rookie. So here's what I do. Like the shop right now, we're not buying Mac Jones cards because there's just an unclear future there. He could end up being great and have a great career, and this could be the year he takes off. He could end up on another team and a great opportunity with a great quarterback coach and just light it up, and he'd be a good investment because you can buy him so cheap right now. So I think of stuff like that. Well, I mean, the simple stuff, buy when the guys are down. Josh Allen right now, didn't do anything in the playoffs. There's kind of no hype around him right now, while Mahomes and Burrow are kind of getting all the love. Josh Allen stuff, you can kind of pick it up cheap right now. But you got to be really careful when it comes to running backs and wide receivers. In football, it's quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. In baseball, it's hitter, hitter, hitter. Not so much pitcher unless you're Ohtani, and that's only because he's a hitter. So you do this part better than me because we buy and just turn it at the shop. So there's really no long-term hold here. Obviously, a question I always have is, this happened with LeBron's Topps Chrome rookie card several years ago. You could buy it at $500. The next year it was $1,000. So you'd buy it at $1,000. The next year it was $1,800. Well, it's like, do I buy it now at $1,800 because next year it's going to be $2,500? When do you jump on this ladder? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know when it maxes out. And then something like COVID happens and the prices go absolutely insane. And if you buy at the insane level and it comes back down to earth, then you're stuck there, which I've been stuck on many a card there. I'll probably play off of some of your thoughts here.
So if we're doing this for quote unquote investment purposes, you got to think, number one, please don't do this with money that you're feeding your family with. Number one, like, please do this with money that you can afford to lose. That way it doesn't hurt as much.
Of course.
Number two, hope is not a strategy, right? So go into it with a strategy and diversify. You're going to need your short-term investments, mid-term investments, and long-term investments. And so short-term, rookies, who's hot. If you're buying into the Bowman product, Bowman's been doing well on the breaks. I love Bowman, but you got to be able to move these cards when you hear about a player getting called up. That's short term, right?
Sure.
Midterm, guys that are playing that are established, and are they going to pop off? A midterm investment for me, Russell Wilson. And specifically for me, Russell Wilson in Broncos uniforms. I think that's a good fan base. I think if he goes off and does Russell Wilson things, his first cards in high grades, in low serial numbers, in Broncos uniforms are going to do well. And then long-term investments. Here's a saying. I don't know where I heard it, but it's absolutely true. If you're in cards for the long term, things are going to go up and down, but no one gets hurt. The only way you get hurt on a roller coaster is if you jump off. I mean, if you just hang in there, things are going to go up and down. But if it's a guy like, Mahomes, Brady, LeBron, Kobe, RIP. These things will continue unless they do something horribly wrong or something comes out about them that are established that are going to be in the Hall of Fame. But
which
again,
which is why the Brady's and the Trouts and those guys have shown over 10 plus years, they just always keep their nose clean. These things aren't going to come up. They're not pulling a Ja Morant. So you look at that. I mean, unfortunately, you got to look at that stuff. What's their off the field life like? And do you see them as being one that could, because look at anyone who had Henry Ruggs stuff, anybody who has Ja Morant stuff right now. Yeah. Ed says Manny Machado. I don't know if that's because he's really good or because he's got a temperament that may end up getting him in trouble at some point. But Mackey summed it up really, really good. Rookies, low number cards, SSP, super short prints, and rookie autos. I mean, that's where the bread and butter's at. Be really careful post-COVID with these print runs. These base cards, like a Mahomes base-rated rookie, is going to be good. A Trevor Lawrence base-rated rookie is not going to be good, no matter how good he does. There's too many of them out there. So you need to, because of the print runs now, they're printing a crap ton of this stuff. But they're only printing so many of the number to 25s and the number to 10s. There's only 10. There's only 25. So, look, we've talked about the Acuna SSP white jersey one. Look for that stuff. If y'all want something to invest in long-term, those super, super short print rookie cards are going to cost you a little more, but you don't have to worry about 9 billion of them eventually getting graded and pulled. So
5 months ago, me and Jason, our buddy Jason, we're sitting there texting back and forth. There was one of these Acuna white jersey SSPs, and there was it had 2 hours left, and it was at $1,900. And we're like, do we need to jump it? Do we need to partner up on this thing? Could it go to 6? Yeah, but could it be under 3? This thing 6 months ago traded for $2,400. And that's unheard of. I mean, at that price, you're cracking it and getting a 10 because it was 9.5s, all 9.5s across the board. And so that's that's probably a $6,000 card now.
What's crazy about that card is I'm fairly confident 3 of those got pulled from this shop.
Oh my goodness.
I know 2 for a fact because I tried to buy one from one of the guys at the time he pulled it. This was in 2018. It was worth $600. And I said, I'll give you $300. We were playing cards. The shop was closed. I said, I'll give you $300 right now for it. No thanks. No thanks. Cause I was like, well, that's a low ball shop, but I thought he's only in it for, $89 or whatever he pulled it on. So he still has it to this day. And it's worth, and he's glad he didn't sell it to me for that. I'm sure. We had another one that got graded, had a dinged corner and it got a 7, but he took it to a card show and it ended up selling at the time for, I don't know, $600 or something in a 7 because it had a really bad corner. And then someone else told me they had pulled one. And I don't think I ever laid eyes on that. But 2 of them to come from the shop is saying something, but possibly 3. I've never seen the card in the wild, and we get cards brought in here every day.
I've never seen it at a show. Never seen it in hand. So, all right, next question, Jacob.
That was clear as mud. Oh,
yeah, no kidding. All right, boys, spill the tea on selling sports cars. I'm tired of paying eBay's ridiculous fees. Are there any other platforms out there that won't make me break the bank every time I sell a card? So, for clarification, the standard eBay fee is what, 13.5%? That's what it boils down to?
12 or 13, yeah.
So 13%. So, Josh, what are your thoughts on this? Because you went from we're not doing eBay, we're not doing online, and now you've sort of leaned into that and you're sort of bearing some fruit now. So I'd love to get your take on this.
Yeah, so I've always said if you're going to do eBay, go all in, because that's what we've done now at the shop. We're all in. We're 1,100 items on Facebook or on eBay now, or pretty much at all times and growing. And every day. There's a box of stuff that's going to the post office. So go all in if you're going to do that. But on a separate note, I would, if you don't want to do eBay, find a really reputable, maybe kind of hard to get into closed Facebook group where they just don't let anyone in, and the people that are in there are trusted. Maybe you have to earn that trust a little bit, but I remember selling. What people usually do is they'll post it in there and they say, "Hey, boys, before I take this thing to FeeBay, I'm going to put it in here and see if anyone's interested." And then you can do a deal like you do a deal outside of eBay, and you might have a small fee if you're going to use PayPal or something else, but that would be outside of a card show. Go peddle it around to different dealers, and remember they have to resell it, so you might save yourself some fees and some hassle, and you got no threat of a return, but you're going to have to give a discount for it. But I've had guys, the card off the top of my head, the Luka Rookie Prism Mojo number to 25 that came out of this shop. I went with the customer that pulled it. We went up to the Hickory show years ago. It was back in Luka's rookie year. And we peddled it around to every different table, asking the dealers, would you be interested in buying this? It was a $1,500 card at the time. The last guy finally said, I'll give you $1,500 for it. He left. It was selling on eBay for $1,500. This guy had a brain in his head and knew this was probably a long-term good hold. He got it graded. It graded a 9. The last we talked to him, he turned down $40,000 for it. So he turned $1,500 into $40,000. And I don't know now what that card would do, but PSA 9, Luka Rookie Prism Mojo, it's going to be way up there. So, yeah. So Ed's going the opposite route because eBay will back you up. The 13% is not that bad because, no risk of getting screwed. So I would say if you're definitely not doing eBay, look for some closed Facebook groups or card shows. If you don't mind the fees, eBay will, they're a business. They'll stand behind you to the best of their ability, at least.
So
Mackie, yes.
I'm going to ruffle some feathers here. Guys, you make zero money when you sell a card. When you make money?
No.
You make money when you buy a card. If it almost does not matter the platform you sell a card on, if you buy that card at the right price. It doesn't matter. You make money when you buy, not when you sell. Just keep that in mind. You keep that in mind. Because that's why you buy in bulk. So that you can spread out that risk. You buy the lot, you make your money back quickly, and then everything is gravy. So that's my take on it, because for whoever asked this question, you're gonna learn that everybody gets a cut. That's just the way of the world. Everybody's gonna want to get in your wallet when you sell something. Whether it's fees on eBay or whatever taxes you pay on it to the government. At some point, someone's going to want their money. So you make the money on the buy, not the sell.
Yeah. If you're doing it in large quantities, like for us selling on eBay, it's profitable for us because we buy, like you said, in these large lots where someone has $10,000 worth of cards, but they'll offload all of it for $6,000. And that means you're taking the bad stuff with the good stuff, and it's going to take you a while. But in theory, you could make, $3,000 or $4,000 off of that lot if you want to put in the time and the effort and the work. But George says, offer it to a card buddy first. Yeah, think of a guy that would like that card. And, again, it matters if you pulled it from a pack or if you bought it at a card show or on eBay. What did you pay for it? Pull it out of a pack, you got some room to operate.
And at this point, with the card market, we're sort of slave to the market right now. If you are slinging cardboard and you're up just a little, I think the up 50, 60, 80%, I think those days we're going to have to wait for another sort of spike in the hobby. I think the way things are at now, 5, 10, 20, 25% increasing year over year, that's a healthy increase. That's what you can expect. So the mistake that I always made when I was at shows, is I'd buy a card and then take it to a show and they'd show me my own darn comp. Here's a comp. It's like, that's me. I was like, yeah. So I was competing against myself. And that's what I mean by buying correctly. That's why if you can go to a show, buy in bulk, if you're set up at card night and people are wanting to sell their cards and you buy those cards correctly and you put them back out on your table and make a quick profit. That's what I mean by buying correctly. It's just a lot of timing. It's the market. And then if you can, buy in bulk. So, all right. One more question, Jacob. Hey, Michael and Josh, what's the deal with card condition? How important is it to protect our precious cards? Any secret preservation methods? Asking for my card collections.
Well, it's not secret. You might see me do this. I've learned it just from here in the shop, but take a penny sleeve, take your finger and go boom. That way you can slide it in, because our friends at Palmetto down in Lexington that submitted before we submitted cards for grading, he said the amount of cards where that bottom left corner is screwed up, because you get the right corner in there, and then when you go to put the left one and it hits that other corner and tears it up every time, the amount of corners that bottom left, amount of cards that bottom left corner is toast on. So take a little scissor, a little razor blade. If you're good at it, take your finger and get that sleeve opened up before you put it in there. We see kids in here all the time, and they'll have a $400 Pokemon card, and it's all beat up. We're like, we can't buy it from you, but let me just show you what we could have given you for it if it was in perfect shape or pack fresh shape. And you'll see the look on their face. But what a valuable lesson to learn. Learn it then when you're 8.
They actually make pre-cut sleeves. They actually make sleeves with like the back of it is a little higher than the rest of it, so you can get those cards in there. I think there's product out there that helps you protect stuff. No thicknesses. Like, yeah, you could fit a chrome card, and chrome cards are a little easier to take care of, but you could fit a chrome card into like a smaller
regular
top loader.
Top loader, yeah.
But what's the size above 35 points?
55 is what you need for a chrome card.
So, it'd be a shame if you're trying to sort of shim a card into a smaller and then something slips, and so just having the right.
Yeah.
I think the big thing about protecting your cards is having the right supplies. Josh has great pricing on supplies at the shop. Cardboard, the boxes. Here's one.
Jersey cards.
Yep.
Jersey cards. Sleeves.
Yep. Sleeve your graded cards, please. There's nothing gets under my skin more than a nice PSA 10, and the slab is all beat to heck.
Or just scratched. Yeah, or just scratched up.
Yeah. So,
in fact, if you grade through us, if you submit your cards through us and they come back, we often put them in sleeves for the customer.
Look at that customer service.
We don't want you, especially if I'll tell you right now, if it's a high dollar card that we've gotten back for you, I'll put it in a PSA only sleeve to protect that for you. So
nice. All right. Card from the vault.
Card from the shop.
Shop.
In honor, I don't like the Lakers. I don't like LeBron, but I like him for the hobby. So in honor of LeBron and the Lakers winning, this is, and it's one of my favorite inserts, a stained glass, mosaic stained glass Prism PSA 10 from 2020. That is in the showcase. And It's in a bag as well to keep this thing scratch free. It's over on our eBay store. If you would like to browse our singles, make an offer. That is my card from the eBay vault, maybe.
All right. My
glass.
card from the vault. I just got this back from grading. And speaking of cool inserts and parallels, this is a parallel of an insert. This is the Destiny insert from Stadium Club Chrome.
I remember that.
And that's Mr. Soto that got a 10. Can you see that? 10. And it's the gold, numbered out of 50. Soto starting to hit the ball a little early for Soto this year. Usually he doesn't start hitting the ball until after the All-Star break.
Yeah, no kidding.
So he's
coming. Well, he wasn't hitting it at the beginning of the season, so I'm glad he is now.
All right. Oh, this is a long list. So Jacob, fire up hits from the shop, and hopefully everybody can hang in there before we wrap things up with crazy stat of the week.
Jacob, we'll move through these pretty quick, but we're not far behind schedule. So this out of Leaf Vivid, a little duel, Spencer Jones, Anthony Volpe. I say Volpe, the announcers say Volpe, so I guess they know more than I do. So Anthony
Potato.
Yeah, dual auto. That was cool out of Leaf Vivid. Jacob, get your clicking fingers ready. We're going to move right along. Also, same customer. This is Derek's 2 boxes. Jordan Walker and Alec Burleson. That was, I think, numbered to it was numbered fairly low. Derek, if you're watching, you can tell us it was 10 or 25 or something like that. So a couple nice hits. Monopoly, Gold Shimmer, Shaden Sharp rookie, customer hit. There was the big one, the LeBron Color Blast. The customer bought 3 or 4 of these boxes and then decided to take one for the road and came back in about 8 minutes later to show us this monster. It's on consignment. It's on our eBay store. We're going to drop the eBay store link in the comments in just a moment. Topps Archives. We had some nice Archives hits this week. We got a Juan Soto auto there. And we'll have some more here in just a minute. Justin Herbert Genesis. That came out of a Mosaic Blaster. Congrats to the customer. Desmond Ritter on card. We had a lot of Ritter autos pulled this offseason, so he needs to have a big year. Same product, Matt Corral. That's the numbered variation. I don't know how he's going to do. Probably not getting to play this year, but you never know. I don't know why I sent that one to you. My bad. That's just Okongwu. It's probably not very valuable. That was probably an oops. But a customer did hit it. And a die cut Brock Purdy out of Contenders Optic I thought looked really cool. So speaking of Archives, we're going to go back. Customer hit this one. O'Neal Cruz. The customer also bought 2 more boxes at the same time and hit a Wander Franco auto. And then the next one is a 1/1 George Springer. Hopefully it's in the right order. Yeah, there it is. So a customer bought those 3 boxes, a Springer 1/1, a Wander Franco, and a numbered, O'Neal Cruz. Thank you for the business. He was a happy customer. Next up, we've got a Bailey Zappi Contenders auto on card. Beautiful card. Your clicking fingers broken, Jacob? There it is. All right. So now we've got some, so a lot of these names I didn't know. I looked these up and I'm like, wow, these are pretty big cards. So a numbered Jay Allen Bowman Chrome. We'll just kind of click through some of these Bowman Chrome ones. Jacob's got a Commodore 64 computer apparently. So Jameson Williams Contenders Optic. Nice little on card. Look at that. Prism Emmitt Smith throwback. That green. Spencer Jones. Oh, his clicking fingers are working now. Spencer Jones, numbered to 150 out of Bowman. Eduardo Julian. I just looked it up and I was like, wow, that's a pretty expensive card. At least $100. So Anthony Gutierrez, numbered to 99. That is a monster card. It's being sent off for grading. If that comes back graded, it's a lot. Roman Anthony, just another high-end prospect auto that's numbered that a customer pulled. So this is out of that multi-graphis Leaf. Every card has more than one auto on it. So that one had Montana on it. We thought it looked pretty cool. Michael's muted, so I don't think we heard what you just said, Michael. But oh, look at that. So this was a redemption card. Customer finally got it back. So I probably showed the redemption a long time ago, but he got it back, and there it is. Trevor Lawrence, rookie out of Mosaic. Old Spud Webb. You got to love Spud Webb. This one's being sent off for grading also for the customer. But first Spud Webb auto I've seen in a while. Another redemption finally came back from LaMelo's rookie year. That's a big card out of Contenders Optic, the up-and-coming LaMelo Ball rookie also being sent off for grading through us. And that is the conclusion of hits from the shop. Thank you.
No kidding. That was quite
Acuna just hit a home run. Ed, did he hit that off of that pitcher you were just talking about? He did. That was a great call, Ed.
Yeah, I was like, good luck, kiddo. That Acuna is hitting the ball well. He's seeing it. So, all right. I actually have a crazy stat this week. Can you believe it?
I have one that's not super crazy, but I have one.
Do we have one more break credit? Did we go through all three, or do we need to flash that last one?
I think we did have one more.
There we go.
All right, last break credit 09307A. Several people can claim this credit. It's $5. It'll knock a break spot down a little bit. We've got one left in that Monopoly break. I'm telling you right now, if I get home after this and it fills, is the only time I'm going to be pissed about a break filling. Oh, Monopoly sold out. Sweet. Does that mean?
Oh, that's awesome. And we just posted the eBay page up on in the chat.
Yeah, there's the link to our eBay store. So go browse, check it out, make an offer.
You guys go fight over that LeBron James color blast. All right, here's my crazy stat of the week. Out of the 74 NBA championships, there have only been 8 times where the winning team was considered an underdog. That's 11%. Right now, the Lakers, they've been underdogs in every series. And they're going to continue to be the underdog in every series. And I think regardless of who comes out of the East, maybe they would not be the underdog if Miami makes it. But I think they might be. And so there's a chance that there may be another, because if Miami makes it, then they're both underdogs throughout the whole thing. And it would just be, I think it'd be great. Number one, for the hobby, that LeBron market is suffering a little bit, but it would be cool. And he gets no hobby love.
Wouldn't the,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, wouldn't the Celtics Lakers kind of the old school rivalry? Oh, yeah. That would be a great series.
Yeah. And while Tatum's my guy, and I think Tatum is, I think he's going to do it this year. It would be nice. It'd be a nice career validation for Jimmy Butler if he were to win an NBA championship. I don't think it's going to happen, but he seems like he's paid his dues.
Yeah.
All right.
So mine is about Bob Gibson. In 1968, he had a 1.12 ERA. After that season, Major League Baseball lowered the pitching mound. So this stat says baseball lowered the mound after Bob Gibson's 1.12 ERA in 1968. Think about that. Lowered the mound, changed the game. Bob Gibson.
Yes. All right. Anything else? Do we have anything else? I feel like we were all over the place.
Next week product, but we'll hit that another time because these here. We'll just really quickly. Maybe Star Wars Topps Chrome. If I put an order in for it, we'll see if I get allocated. Because I thought of you, and I had another person. Topps Heritage Baseballs next week.
Oh, I love Heritage.
Yeah, so we'll have that. So those are probably the two notable ones for next week. So but we'll have better, more up-to-date information on the next podcast. The Monopoly break is breaking right after we go off the air here. Give me like 5 minutes to set up, and then I'm going live. George says, Star Wars, no soccer. Well, here's the thing. Star Wars is a little easier for me to get, and with that case of Star Wars, I already have like 3 people that I know that would buy some, and soccer's harder for me to get unless it's the EPL stuff, and then the EPL stuff just sits on the shelf. So
blah blah blah. Josh, thank you guys. If you've hung in this long to this hodgepodge of an episode, thank you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
peace. See you in 5 minutes, people.